Conor McGregor blasts mass migration as a genocide in Ireland. Okay, so let's see what this is all about. Rob, this is the clip?
Yes.
Go ahead and play the clip.
Off Ireland. Never in a million
But
years.
if they're paying foreigners to have kids while you can't afford to have kids, if they're shaking you down with the armed police, but allowing foreigners a pass, if they're paying to fix foreigners' cars but not yours, they hate you and they're trying to kill you, right?
It's an erasure. It's an attempted erasure of our people. That is it. I could have went all that way in the White House. I had to climb. You go incrementally up, right? You go in. Hey, you talk about a genocide. This is the genocide of our people.
Obviously.
Yeah, and then Rob, can you do me a favor? While he's talking about this, there is a clip that's in the in my notes. If you go to it, it's a clip about what's happened. Vinny, I'll come to you first. Who had opinions on this one? Was it you?
I think it was.
Let me see who this is. Conor McGregor. Adam, you had some thoughts on this, and I had a clip I want to play for you guys that you got to see. Go for it, Adam.
Well, there's another clip that I would actually want to show where he talks about, I don't care about, he's like, I'm not center left. He's like, I'm not left wing, right wing. He's like, I don't even know what that means. He goes, I'm centered. I'm on the ground. I'm 2 toes down on the ground. I stand for what I believe. And it's such a great clip because it basically shows, listen, I don't give a shit what you call me, left wing, right wing, whatever you want to call me. I stand for what I believe, and I stand 2 feet down, and I'll double down on what I believe. He's like, I'm a family man. I'm family first. I'm Ireland first. Is this the clip?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go for it, man.
CNN has described you as the leader, and I'm quoting, of Ireland's far right.
Who has?
CNN, which is a news channel in the United States.
Far left, far right, all of these terminologies mean nothing to me. I'm a family man. I'm an employer of the country. You know, I'm a supporter of many people, and I care about my land and the safety of its citizens and the prosperity of its citizens. I want preference. I want peace, preference, and prosperity for the citizens of Ireland, for my people. And isn't that fair for our countrymen and women?
It is.
It is our country. Ireland is for Ireland.
That's right.
You know, and that is it.
So
I'm not right, left. You know, I feel I'm centered, grounded. That is what I feel. In fact, I ground myself every day. I walk out and I ground myself every day, barefoot in the grass. Barefoot is king. I fought in the octagons, in the cages all around the countries of Ireland, and then into the United States of America, barefoot. So I am a grounded man, either left, right.
Doubt Conor McGregor all you want. But if Trump did anything, he basically burst the bubble that you need to just be a perfectly polished and politician and say exactly what everyone always says. F that. This guy's a fighter. He's a winner. He's a brilliant speaker. You know, Trump, after he got shot in the ear, came up and said, fight, fight, fight. This guy's a freaking fighter, and he's fighting for his country
I want to show you
of Ireland.
Okay, watch this clip, guys. Watch this clip. This is what Ireland is worried about.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and play this clip, Rob. Go ahead.
The mayor of London is Muslim. The mayor of Birmingham is a Muslim. The mayor of Leeds is Muslim. The mayor of Blackburn is Muslim. The mayor of Sheffield is Muslim. The mayor of Oxford is a Muslim. The mayor of Luton is a Muslim. The mayor of Oldham is a Muslim. The mayor of Rochdale is a Muslim. All of this was achieved by only 4 million Muslims out of the 66 million people in England. Today in England, there are over 3,000 mosques. There are over 130 Sharia courts in England, and there are more than 50 Sharia councils. 78% of Muslim women do not work and receive state support and free accommodation. 63% of Muslims do not work and receive state support and free housing. State-supported Muslim families have an average of 6 to 8 children who all receive free accommodation. Every school in the UK is required to teach about Islam. The #1 most common baby name in England is Muhammad. This is not immigration. This is invasion. The mayor of London is Muslim.
I mean, I was just looking at the numbers. The Ireland saw 149,200 migrants and 69,000 immigrants, resulting in a net migration of 79.3. Foreign-born population is 1.2 million by the end of the year. Crime is up almost 4%. Sexual offenses rose to 8% compared to the previous year. Yeah, I mean, they're getting flooded with, these migrants under the lie of, compassion. Sounds familiar. We had the same situation here, but it's not compassion, it's control. And they're stuffing the hotels with people. The crime is up. Like I said, the numbers are up. My thing, and the women don't feel safe. What is, like, my question is, the current sitting government, what is the purpose of letting it happen? I mean, we know why it was happening here, for the votes and all that stuff, and they didn't give it. They want to change the voting block and the dynamic. I'm just curious to what's Ireland's excuse? What is the point? Who's in charge right now in Ireland? Who's the person that's leading it?
What are you saying? Like, why are they, if they're seeing what's going on with UK, why are you doing the same thing?
Exactly. Why, and who's behind it? Who's giving it the okay to just have all these people? Because it's not immigration, it's an invasion.
It's probably what Conor is talking about. And by the way, it's purely matching values. Here's, Rob, this is Islam makes you defend. Can you play this clip? What's this? Oh, okay, yeah. Go for it.
Consent to your 6-year-old daughter marrying a 54-year-old man.
My 6-year-old daughter.
Your 6-year-old daughter.
The fact that you haven't instantly
would
said
you
no
consent? It is really concerning.
The fact that you have to think this over is terrifying.
It is terrifying.
It is terrifying that you might even...
Okay. Would you allow your 6-year-old daughter to marry a 54-year-old man?
No.
Would you?
Hell no.
I would slay any man who
Thank you.
suggested that.
Now, would you allow your 6-year-old daughter... See how quick that was? Would you allow your 6-year-old daughter to marry a 54-year-old man?
No. If it was the Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu wasalam.
Do you advocate for changing the law that would allow
Prophet
6-year-olds to consent to marriage?
In this country?
Yes.
Do I advocate for it?
Okay,
Yes.
don't answer it.
Don't answer it.
Wallah, he just wants a simple question.
Why is he embarrassed to answer that question?
21st century, everyone is mine.
Why is his current religionist embarrassed of him answering?
Let me ask you this question.
21st century.
Do you think Saudi
everyone's
Arabia
mine.
should allow 6-year-olds to get married?
Okay, do you want to...
Wallah, okay, he just goes on, guys.
Okay, is this between
All I have to do is say no.
Jazakallah khairan.
No. Some point we'll come across.
Guys, this is not a hard question. It's a simple yes or no. Do you think that Saudi Arabia should allow 6-year-old children to marry?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Ladies and gentlemen, that should shock you. He has stood here and said that 6-year-old children should be allowed to marry. That is a problem. And it is a problem that emerges out of the example of Muhammad, and that is exactly why, as a Christian, I reject the example of Muhammad and now a follower of Jesus Christ.
See, and by the way, if 98% of your country has bought into that mindset, it works.
Yep.
Meaning, if you're a Muslim country, Muslim nation, and that's what it is. But if you try to bring that mindset into another country and try to convert and change their culture and bring that to them, that's a problem. There's a guy that's being interviewed, and he says, so what about if we send a bunch of Christians to your Muslim country to start converting you guys to Christianity? He says, you can't do that. That's not allowed. He says, our country would never allow that. We would never allow. You guys allow that. We would never allow that.
Yeah, of course.
This is the part where I think more and more people are starting to realize through common sense, some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. Some of this stuff is a little bit crazy. Conor's getting a little bit dumb with it himself, and he's trying to do it in his country. Tom, do you have any thoughts on this?
No, I think you echoed it. It's a one-way street. You can't come here and offer to teach us. We want to go there and look at what they've organized. They get elected into government, and now they're favoring themselves of free accommodation and supporting this. And look at the generation they're creating. The average was 6 kids. There you go. You know what? Count 18 years. Count 18 years from right now, and it's over. There is a if you look at tourism books and things like that, they call it Londonistan, because there's so many. The population of Muslims there is so great, and that's it. And it's a generation of children and generational change, just natural. These people are going to grow old and die, and then these people have had 1 kid. These people have had 6. So what does that population look like 18 years from now? It's over.
Well, it's the Islamization of Europe. And I'm not talking about secularist Islam. I think there's awesome people out there. I have many friends that are Muslim. I'm talking about the Islamists and the jihadists. And what they want to do is they want to infiltrate and then they want to occupy countries. Why is it that only white Christian countries are the countries that get called out if you're not being more inclusive? So if you go to China, it's all Chinese people, it's all Chinese politicians. Same thing in Russia, same thing in Japan, same thing in Saudi, same thing in Iran, same thing in Brazil. But except for white Christian countries in Europe, also including Canada and possibly the United States, whether it's Ireland, whether it's Scotland, whether it's Sweden, whether it's Denmark, whether it's the UK, I can't tell you how many times I hear people saying that the UK is falling, London is falling. You're seeing that example right there of how many Muslim politicians are in the UK. Go ahead and reverse it, and then how many Christian, there's 0 Jewish politicians anywhere in the Middle East, but how many Christian politicians are in any of the Middle Eastern Muslim countries? I would argue that maybe Lebanon, which used to have a decent Christian population, and I want to say that like their president has to be Christian, but other than that, you know, maybe Egypt a little bit, but if you go down the list, Coptic Christian in Egypt. In Egypt, but if you go down the list between Syria, Iraq, Iran, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, the list goes on and on and on and on. You're not going to find anybody that a Muslim that is in charge of the government there. So even if you go to Israel, people don't know this about Israel, 20% of Israel are Palestinian citizens. They can be in the government, they can have jobs, they're in the army, they are full-on citizens. I challenge you to find one Jew, not 1%, who's in Palestine, who's in Afghanistan, who's in Syria. Not one. They've all been kicked out. And you know what? They're coming for the Christians next. So the Middle East used to be an area where Jews, Christians, Muslims, everyone was there. Not anymore.
I had no idea what was going to happen with the Yetis. I had no idea. When our team said, Pat, they're not going to last, like this, all of it was gone. Next thing you know, we were swamped by messages of, Pat, can we get additional Yetis to do collaboration with Valuetainment and Future Looks Bright? The next one is here. Now, keep in mind, these will go very fast. Rob, if you want to play this clip, we got different ones. These are based on what many of you guys asked. This is the Future Looks Bright Yeti, whether it's a pink one, whether it's the red one, whether it's the Tiffany blue or the white. These seems to be, this one seems to be, it's sick. It's absolutely sick. Yeah, or even a smaller one that you got. And on top of this, Rob, if you can also go to the website, there are, I think it's 10 coolers that we got. A couple people asked for coolers.
Only 10?
I just got 10 of them. We're like, let's just see if there's a market for it.
I guarantee you that they'll be gone before we're done with the episode.
I said, let's get 10 and let's see how it does.
Sick.
Look at that. Look how sick that is with Future Looks Bright right on top of it.
So badass.
So vtmerch.com, go place your order. Be the first to get it because these things will go very quickly. Again, it is limited supply and they're absolutely sick. When you go to work and you have this Valuetainment logo and the Future Looks Bright, it looks insane. Okay. Again, go to vtmerch.com, place your order with the Yeti collaboration.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.